Good morning, children. Again, I am here with one more topic of food, that is preservation of food. Till now, we had learned 4 chapters related to the food belongs to this third unit. Now, today we will start the new chapter, that is preservation of food. Children, when you leave a bowl of a cooked rice in the kitchen for a day, it starts smelling bad and becomes unfit for eating. But if you store uncooked rice in the jar in the kitchen for a whole month, it remains fine. Why is it so? Just like that, some foods like cereals, pulses, and spices can be stored for a much longer time than milk, meat, and fruits. Why is it so? So, that's why in this chapter we will learn how food items get spoiled and how we can preserve them. Children, when we keep a slice of bread in the open for a day or 2 days, we find green or black patches on it. It also has a foul smell. This slice of bread is spoiled due to the growth of fungi called bread mold on it. It is unfit for eating. Similarly, if we keep a glass of milk in the open for a day or 2 days, a foul smell starts coming from it. The milk becomes unfit for drinking. It has been spoiled due to the growth of microorganisms called bacteria. Generally, food materials get spoiled due to the action of bacteria, fungi, insects and rats. Bacteria and fungi in the air settle on the food. They grow, multiply and decompose the food, releasing substances that are harmful to our health. Eating spoiled food can cause food poisoning. The symptoms of the food poisoning are stomach ache, diarrhea, fever and vomiting. Bacteria and fungi grow well at room temperature and in presence of moisture, and cooked food spoils easily as it has moisture. Wheat, rice and pulses do not get spoiled easily because they are almost dry and we keep them in the airtight container. Insects and rats cannot enter closed container. This method is called as dry storage. Children, we cannot preserve food forever, but we can prevent it from getting spoiled for quite some time by making it difficult for bacteria and fungi to reach it and grow on it. The process in which food materials are given a suitable physical and chemical treatment to prevent this spoilage is called food preservation. Children, different types of food are preserved by using different methods of preservation. So let us discuss some of the methods used in food preservation. When we boil milk, the food spoiling bacteria present in it gets killed. So the boiled milk remains good for a long period of time. This means heating food kills all food spoiling bacteria and fungi and prevents the food from getting spoiled. So the first method is heating. The next method is drying. Food spoiling bacteria do not grow well in dry conditions. So many vegetables like methi leaves, cauliflower and ginger can be preserved in our homes just by drying them in the sun. The sun's heat removes water from these food materials and makes them dry. Fish is also preserved in the sun by drying them. The third method is cooling. Food spoiling bacteria do not grow and multiply in cold condition. So, when the food like milk, cooked vegetables and pulses, fresh fruits and vegetables are kept in cool place like refrigerators, they do not get spoiled. Fish and meat can be stored in deep freezer for a month. Do you know, children? French scientist Louis Pasteur developed a good method of preserving milk. This method is called as pasteurization. In this method, milk is boiled for some time to kill the bacteria present in it and then cooled quickly to prevent the remaining bacteria from growing. The milk is then filled into sterilized bottle or pouches. Children, food can be preserved by using salt and sugar also. Some fruits and vegetables such as mangoes, lemons and amla can be preserved in the form of pickles by using salt as a preservative. Some fruits such as apples, ripe mangoes, oranges, strawberries and pineapples are preserved in the form of jams and jellies by using sugar as a preservative. Salt and sugar remove water from the food. This prevents the bacteria from growing and prevents food spoilage. Potatoes and bananas are preserved in the form of wafers by drying and using salt as a preservative. Pulses are made into papad by using salt and spices as a preservative. Besides salt and sugar, mustard oil, vinegar and spices are also used as a food preservative. A chemical like sodium metabisulfite kills all the food spoiling bacteria and prevent food spoilage. Sodium metabisulfite is used to preserve food such as jams, jellies, juices and squashes. Food is first heated to a high temperature to kill food spoiling bacteria and fungi and then sealed in airtight cans to prevent the growth of microorganisms again. This method is called as canning. So finally, the methods used in food preservation are heating, drying, cooling, using salt and sugar, and using chemical preservatives, and last is canning. Now let us discuss the advantages of food preservation. It decreases food wastage. It increases the storage period of food. And it makes possible for us to get fruits and vegetables even in off seasons. Nowadays, we get cauliflower, capsicum and apples throughout the year. It makes possible for us to get fruits and vegetables from far off places. Apples of Kashmir and oranges of Nagpur are available in Delhi as well. In a country like our India, many people do not get enough food to eat. We must therefore prevent wastage of food. So, how to prevent wastage of food? I will tell you. Take only as much food on your plate as you can possibly eat. Cook as much food as the family requires. Store the leftover food, fruits and vegetables in the refrigerator or in a cool, dry place for later use. And store cereals, pulses and spices in clean, dry and airtight containers. We must not waste food. Also, food preserved is food produced. Our collective action can help remove hunger from our society. So, don't waste the food, preserve it and save it. Here our third unit is finished with this chapter. Read the chapter, go through it and study well. Thank you. Have a nice day.